Sup fools, how's it going? Welcome to another video. The year 2022 is coming to an end and I learned so many things, and I wanted to share 10 life lessons with you I've learned this year, which are going to help me to make my year 2023 better, and maybe it's going to help you too. If you're interested, stay tuned and let's go. The first lesson is don't be desperate. If you're desperate for work, and we all know that, we all been there, it's like very easy to fall into the trap where you just seek out people to see who looks important and you try to get work out of them or some kind of opportunity. And I've had that like a few months ago on a Halloween Hollywood party. This one actor, he just walked from one person to the other and had the same conversation and dropped like 3-4 times in the first sentence, I'm an actor, I'm from Florida, you know, just to see, okay, who could help me with my own career. And that's very desperate, and even if I had an opportunity for him, I wouldn't even give it to him because it's just too desperate. If you're really that desperate, I would prefer, okay, what can you provide for others? Try to provide some kind of value, because that way people are going to remember you. I have one person in my life who really tried to just support and never ask for anything in return. And I have this person always in the back of my head and thinking, okay, how can I give value back? This person has been so supportive, how can I give something back? And it's so much better to be remembered that way. The second lesson is don't put all your eggs in one basket. We all know that when it comes to the stock market, for example, sometimes you find yourself putting all your eggs in one basket, to put all your money into one stock and hope it's going to take off. And now we know we should diversify. We should put a little bit of money in lots of different stocks so your value grows kind of balanced. And it's the same thing with people. You shouldn't invest all of your time, money, and efforts into one person, because this person might turn out as a good investment, but also it might just forget about you and just move on. And I'm talking about business related stuff, but also with friendships. You don't want to have just one friend you do everything with, but then suddenly this friend decides, oh, I'm going to be in a relationship now, it has no time for you anymore. But also with like work stuff, you don't want to have just one business partner you do everything with, and suddenly the cash flow stops or something just doesn't work out, and then you're just left empty-handed. So always diversify your portfolio when it comes to investments, but also with friendships. The only real exception I see is relationships. In my personal opinion, you should not diversify your attention through multiple people. Just focus on one and try to make that work. Another important life lesson I've learned is spend less than you make and not make more than you spend. And also invest the difference. We humans, we always try to make more money because it's more satisfying, right? Instead of, you know, just spending less money, saving more money, right? Because it's less fun, you know, you have to sacrifice things and that's never fun. But it's definitely easier to just spend less money than trying to find other resources how to make more money. The best example I have, if you drive a car and you want it to drive faster, instead of getting more horsepower, just lose the handbrake. Makes sense, right? And for everybody's lifestyle, there's different ways to save money. For me, for example, I spend too much money on food because I don't cook. So for me, for example, the best way would be, okay, I should start cooking. I did like a whole month of only instant ramen soups, which cost like 30 cents per ramen. I ate like 3 of those a day. And I spent, I don't know, 50 bucks in one entire month compared to like thousands when I eat out every day. So that's an easy way for me to save money. But just look in your life, where can you sacrifice things? How can you save money so you have more money to invest? And don't just waste it on something else. Just invest it in something, because then your money is working for you. It can be stocks, could be real estate, could be whatever works for you. Just invest the difference and don't spend it on other junk. Another life lesson is, if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Like, of course, work is not always fun. Boss is always gonna suck. Co-worker is always gonna be annoying, but there is a limit. You know, you don't have to do everything what brings you money. So if you totally hate it, is it really worth it? I mean, we only have this one life available. Do you really want to spend it on stuff you hate so much? So really look for it and try to outsource things you hate so much, Or if you hate them so much but you have to do them, how could you make those things more enjoyable? If it's something where you don't have to fully focus on, maybe you can listen to audiobooks in the background, or to music, or maybe you can just talk to your boss or talk to your coworkers and work out your differences. Maybe that could help too, but don't do things you hate. If you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Life is just too short, it's not worth it. Another life lesson, very, very important, health comes first. If you're constantly working, constantly hustling, constantly doing things you have to do, but neglecting your health, it's not going to help you in the long term. It's super important to work out, eat healthy and all these things for long term, of course, but also short term, it's going to give you way more energy like throughout the day. If you start your day with working out and drinking a bunch of water, you're going to feel so much different as if you didn't do those things. You're also going to sleep better, less stress. Just do it. I know it's annoying, especially when you're out of it for a while. I feel it myself right now. I haven't been that consistent in working out right now, trying to get back to it. And I know I'm going to feel better once I do so. So do yourself a favor, start working out, be a little healthier, and it's going to benefit you, guaranteed. Speaking of health, don't do drugs. And I'm not trying to be like all judgmental. I'm talking in general, you shouldn't use drugs for day-to-day basis. Starting with the coffee every morning. If you need coffee every morning to get your day started, that means that you're addicted. You couldn't function without it. Same with cigarettes. Sometimes you need to drink a beer by the end of every day, and like throughout the day, throughout the years, it's going to be lots of beers you drank there. All I'm saying is I'm trying to be more mindful of these things, so I'm not that dependent, not that addicted to things, because that way I can just live my own life more freely. And maybe I'm full of shit, maybe I'm wrong. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Also, what kind of thing do you consume every day and you would like to stop eventually, maybe, potentially? Just let me know. Another life lesson is super important, like find a hobby. Find a hobby you really, really like. Find a hobby where you forget that you weren't on the phone in the past 5 minutes. Just find something you really like apart from your work. In my life, it's a little more difficult because my favorite hobby is also what I do for a living. It's very lucky, but also I do filmmaking for a living, and when I have spare time, I make my own little short films, and I do enjoy it, I do love it, but I still need to find something what I can do apart from that. In my example, I like to play VR games, virtual reality. That gets me out of my real life and helps me to calm down and have some fun. And then when I'm ready, I can go back to work. So that's my tip for you. Just find a hobby you enjoy, and hopefully it's a hobby which helps you with your health. When it's like a sport or something, that could really benefit you. It definitely benefits me. Another life lesson, super difficult for me personally, but put your damn phone away. You don't have to be on your phone all the fucking time. You don't have to be scrolling through TikTok and Instagram all the time. You don't have to check for comments on your social media. You don't need to do these things. If you don't do it for 6 hours, for 12 hours, nothing bad is going to happen. There's of course exceptions. If you use your phone for business, you should be clocked in for 9 hours. But apart from that, just put your phone away. I really feel those withdrawals. Once I can't have my phone or have a working phone on me, I feel those withdrawals. I need to do something with my fingers. I need the satisfaction, those little hearts coming up. I need this. I'm fucking addicted to my phone, and it annoys me. It annoys me about myself, and I'm trying to get better with it. And if you catch yourself doing the same things, maybe try to force yourself to not do that, you know? Like the best moments for me is like when I get on the plane and I start scrolling, but it doesn't work because I'm out of service or I'm in a different country. When I was working in Africa and we had no signal there, I had nothing to do on my phone. All I could do is maybe record something, taking pictures with my phone. But apart from that, I could do nothing with my phone. And at first it's super difficult, but at some point you just feel like more free. All this pressure is gone of, okay, I have to post something, I have to comment, I have to do these things. Oh, phone. It's an addiction. It's a gateway drug, you know? When I see kids with their little iPads, I feel like their parents might as well give them cigarettes or weed. You know, it's the same thing. It's just more addictive. And I really believe if you find a way to manage this addiction, use the phone the way you were supposed to, only when you need it, I think it's going to improve your life most definitely. Less stress, waste less time, you don't have to charge your battery all the time. It's just better. Just try it. Try it. Another great life lesson I just learned this year was the benefit of supporting others. Like, we live our lives, especially as an artist, you try to push yourself forward, you try to make the connections, and how can anything I do benefit me? But the moment you start working on other people's goals, people who you care about, right? You try to support them, and you try to support them, and you try to lift everybody up. First of all, it's a great feeling. If someone books a job because of my recommendation, it feels so good. It's like, it sounds selfish, and it probably is selfish, but it does feel very good to help others and to see them shine, and you improve someone else's life just by getting out of your own way. I love it. But also it comes back to what you do for others, they might return at some point. I get someone a job, maybe this person is going to get me a job at some point, so it's going to benefit me that way too. But that should not be the motivation. The motivation should only be, I want to help you so your life is going to be better. For the same reason, people like me make YouTube videos, because I want your life to be better. I want you to become a successful filmmaker or artist or whatever you do. That should be the motivation. Obviously, the money factor is always in the background. Like, okay, I help you, you get me views, YouTube gives me money, everybody's happy. It's also part of it. But the main motivator should always be, I want to improve your life. So the 10th life lesson I learned this year, and I'm going to implement it in my next year and probably for my entire life, is manage your expectations. What you pour into others, they're not necessarily going to pour back into you. If you work on a project and you're so passionate about it, it's your project, and you get people on, you're hiring people or you collaborate with people, you cannot expect them to have the same passion for the project as you do. They're gonna have other priorities. If it's paying rent or if it's spending time with their loved ones, whatever it is, they're going to prioritize other things while you're trying to make your project as good as you can. And it really doesn't matter if you're paying someone to do the work or if you collaborate, it doesn't really matter. Because if it's your project, you're always going to be the one who is going to be most motivated, most passionate about it. So you are always going to be the one who has to push the project forward. Doesn't matter how many people you have on the team. The best way really to avoid that is try to always see yourselves as equal partners. You do this part of the project, I do this part of the project, but this project cannot happen with either one of us. Equal partners. It's not like, okay, I'm here and you're working for me. No, we're equal partners. We try to push this project forward. We pay 50-50. Everything is equal, and only that way you can make a project happen without anyone getting lazy at some point or prioritizing other things. It's not very easy. Sometimes even yourself is going to be the one who is not as passionate about your own project as your partner. It happens, but that's why you need a partner who is just as motivated. Surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who want the same things you do, who want the success, who want to work hard, who want to do all these things just the way you want it, or want to create art. Maybe they don't care about the money, but they want to create awesome art or whatever it is. You have to find someone who is like-minded. Only that way you can achieve what you want to achieve. And if you implement all these 10 things, I think you can really make 2023 your best year ever. Thank you so much. If you have any questions or thoughts or anything, let me know in the comments below. Let's chat about it. That's why it's a social media. We can talk to each other, which is awesome. Have a great 2023. Subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Like the video, social media, do it. Check out my other videos. Enjoy the outro. See you later. Doo-doo.